delighted, relieved, happy, whatever all those emotions are, to get this sorted out, cleared up, and done and dusted across the line at this stage?
Yeah, very, very happy. Obviously, it was always my intention to try and stay at the top of my game to get myself to a World Cup, and I'm very thankful and grateful that I've been afforded that opportunity to do it, and now it's up to me to keep working hard and keep the body in good shape, and I'm still very driven to get there and perform at a World Cup, and that was one of the biggest factors for me. Was, I've spoke to a lot of guys that have finished in the game and they have big regrets over World Cups, and I suppose I have a chance now to do that. But obviously it's a long time away at this moment. We've got a lot in front of us to focus on, and but it's great to get it sorted, and I'm absolutely delighted.
So, I mean, your ultimate target at the very end is to continue playing until Rugby World Cup
Yeah.
2023. I mean, is there anything that you're doing differently now to look after your body, to recover better, to, whatever? Is any additional stuff you're doing now that you haven't done in the past to make it last longer?
Yeah, of course. You're always looking for different things, and you dabble in different things, and you go through good patches, and you go, okay, that's down to this, and you keep that, and then you something else comes unstuck, and you have to find something else, and lots of little 1%ers that you just with your diet or with your recovery, or speaking to the people that are really good in that area, and I've said previously, I've played with a lot of guys that played at the top of their game, and guys in Ireland as well, that played like to a top level. You look at people that have won a World Cup, like Richie McCaw at an older age, Brad Thorne. I played with Brad, took a lot from him. Closer to home, Rory Best, Paul O'Connell, Brian O'Driscoll. All these guys played to a similar age, and so you take bits from all of them. Peter Stringer, Donnacha O'Callaghan, the list goes on. So it's not like it's the first person ever to do it, but for me, I just hope to, and I'm very hungry to stay in the international setup. I don't want to go out with a whimper. I want to go out at the top. So whatever it is, 18 more months to make the most of a career, and then hopefully we can finish on a high.
Just a final question for me. It's in relation to playing England. I think this weekend will be your 15th time playing against England, either home or away. I mean, what's different about playing them, and what do you have to do, particularly in a place like Twickenham, to beat them there?
Yeah, look, we haven't had that many successes in Twickenham over the last 10 years. A couple wins I think I've had, in that period, and it's such a tough place to go. The atmosphere, when you think about us and you think about how hard we are to beat in the Aviva, and then it's the same for every other team. It's such a hard thing to do in international rugby, is to go into a hostile environment like this in front of the majority English fans, and perform, and that's what we've got to do. That's what our focus. We've got to learn lessons from the French game, and try and put them into practice and play much better, and obviously England will be looking to get their very best performance out there as well. So it's going to be a big test match.
Cheers, man. Have a good week.
Thank you.
Johnny, how are you? Paul here from Person. How are you getting on?
All right, good, thanks.
Congratulations on the contract. How were the negotiations? Considering your age, do you feel you needed to get a lot of convincing in there, or how do they go?
What a leading question. No, like the process only, like there was initial talks, like a few months ago, about whether I had the desire to keep going, and I said at the moment I do, but again, it was never going to be done till this stage of the season, because you just don't know. And again, if you picked up an injury, or you think puts the majority of next season in doubt, so you've got to. You got to wait. I suppose at this age, it's a lot different if you're mid-20s or whatever. But look, it was fine. It was, like I said, we sat down last week, and we sorted it out in a couple of conversations. You know, there's the balance, isn't it, between making sure you're looked after, but also acknowledging that you're 36 and that there's risk that goes with that. But at the same time, you know, all you can do is go on what's in front of you. I've hoped to keep proving my worth, and yeah, that's all I can say really. I'm just delighted to keep the dream going, as they say.
Good stuff. And just final one for me. Eddie Jones said yesterday that Ireland are favourites for this game this weekend. Would you agree with him?
We don't really care like about favourites or who's favourite. You know what I mean? It's irrelevant really. You know, we obviously haven't won that many times over the years there, but that's not to say we can't do it this time. You know, it's really down to this game and who can get their best performance out there. And you know, all our prep is being focused on doing that, realising the task that's in hand with the atmosphere that's going to hit us and the intensity that they will bring to the game, and preparing to try and play our best under severe like pressure and conditions. So you know, it's a great test for us, and we'll see if we've learnt lessons from the French game and if we can adapt and you know, play better in an away stadium.
Hi Johnny, how are things? Just one quick question for me. Congratulations on the new deal. You said a couple of times in this conversation here, like, that you want to go out on the top, go out at the top. Have you decided yet, like, is this your last deal? Is the World Cup going to be retirement, or is that still an open book, so to speak?
Yeah, no, like yeah, of course. Yeah, the finish 2023 World Cup. So I'm delighted to be able to say it. Like, as in delighted. I've been beating around the bush for 6 months, sort of always nervous about talking about the World Cup, you know, when you weren't guaranteed to be there. But you know, I just want to make the most of this last 18 months of my career, and like I said, want to go out at the top, and that's up to me now to work hard and get the body and mind in the best shape possible, and attack the last, like I said, last 18 months.
Thanks for that.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hey Johnny, it's Nick Mullins here. Congratulations on the deal.
Thank you.
Just going back to Corky's point about the sacrifices that you're having to make and continue to do to get your body where it needs to be for weekends like this. When you don't have to make those sacrifices again, what's the food or the drink that you're looking forward to tell yourself not to have?
Like, yeah, look, it's balance, isn't it? Like, I wouldn't say, you know, you still find time in the routine to have the odd beer with, you know, with your brother or your friends or your teammates, or a glass of wine. So you can still do that as a professional rugby player. I suppose you can probably just do it a little bit more often, which is a dangerous thing when you retire. But look, I'll be honest. I'd say when I do retire, I'd say I'll miss everything about the game. You know, it's an absolute dream, or, you know, to do what I've done and to do it for so long. It's incredible, and I pinch myself, you know, every day. So just very grateful to keep it going. But I think when I hang up the boots, I'll be lost. I'll be like a lost puppy for the first while. But I'll find something else to throw myself into, I'm sure. Golf maybe. Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be busy. One last question from me. In those moments when you've really found top form over the course of the championship so far, what does that feel like for you as a player? Does it have a particular feeling, a particular look when you're out on the pitch, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. If you're in good form, you know, it feels great. Like, you know what I mean. If things are flowing and the team is cohesive, and that's my main job, is to make the team play well. And when that's happening, it's the happiest you are. Like, you know what I mean. And that's all I care about, is the team playing well and us winning. And you know, you have a big responsibility in that. And, you know, when you don't win or you don't play well, it hurts, and then when you do, it's the best. You know, it's absolutely brilliant, and they're the things that you work so hard for, is to have those moments in the game, but also after the game, because, you know, the moments that you'll miss most from talking to people is, you know, in the dressing room after a big win. That feeling of the, you know, with the team is one that can't be replaced. You know, so that's what you strive for.
Great, thanks, Johnny. Enjoy your week.
Thank you.
Take the last question in this section, guys. Happy enough? Okay, we'll switch on to the embargo written section. Thank you.
Thank you.